Hello everyone, welcome to my Dragon Quest Builders 2 ship. This is the first big ship that I've ever constructed on this game, and I put it right above my castle. Here is a closer view of the ship, and if you'll notice there's an anchor that comes down. You can swim to the anchor and use that to climb into the ship. Once on the ship, you can enter inside. This part of the ship is the bottom hull, and I added a couple tables here and a throne, and behind the throne is some provisions for the sailors and later for the player if they wish to eat. There's lights all around, so it's well lit. I tried sitting on the throne, but the view is blocked, so I got off quickly and started climbing the stairs. We're now on the top deck, where it's full of cannons to defend ourselves against any attack. There's also the helm right here with the steering wheel. You can see the view of the front of the ship. The mast is in the background. It was pretty simple in design, and since there's no cloth pieces, I actually had to use white building material in order to assemble it. Here is the captain's quarters, where there's a chest, a porthole, some swords, and a cupboard, and a bed. At this point in the video, I've shown you everything on the ship. Going forward now, I will show how each part was assembled. I started with the anchor floating in the air just to get a rough estimate how tall I could build the ship, and so that I could climb up it initially. I had to build scaffolding like this to build it. Here is where I really started first assembling the ship. I put a scaffolding perimeter around the entire bottom part, and I started building it row by row, starting with a bottom row and then building up from there. Here, I decided to redo a part of the sidewall because I had mistakenly put an even number of ground tiles at the bottom, which would mean there's no odd number single pane at the bottom that a ship normally has. So I decided to expand out the wall by one space. Here I'm finishing the side wall. You'll see that either side of the ship right now is not taking a form and it's quite flat. At this moment I didn't know exactly how to shape the front or back of the ship yet. Here I'm beginning to build the upper deck. This part was probably one of the easiest parts because it is just straight across all the way. I noticed something strange when I was building this side of the deck. A couple heel slimes had spawned up on the upper deck, and they were acting very strange. They weren't moving or drawing aggro at all. I already had a crab trap there in that cube, and I decided to go get a closer look. I actually decided to try to trap them, and wanted them to stay spawned there, so that I could accumulate monsters on the deck, but after a while they do tend to disappear on their own for some reason. Here I put in the grating on the ship, and I decided that a 3x3 looked more natural rather than that elongated 6x3 that I have here, so I had to take it apart and flesh it out a little bit. Here I'm placing lights at the bottom of the hull. I was torn between either scones or torches, but ultimately went with the scones because they look nicer. Back up deck, I was putting up the mast here. This mast was actually not too complicated. It was just 2 perpendicular beams with the white blocking to symbol the cloth. There's the finished product. And there's the cannons that I added to. I went back to the bottom and added more food supplies, some wheat, some bags, some wines and caskets. I decided to replace the wheat and the casket location. It's not shown in this video, you'll see the caskets above the wheat, but it made more sense vice versa in the final version. I didn't actually get the film of building the captain's quarters, so here's just a quick view while I was touching up around it. I had just forgotten to record that section. This is the first attempt at the front of the ship. It's definitely not correct, and I had to go back later and fix it when I figured out a better way to visualize it. This is a series of me falling over and over and over. It's a very small minority of captured events. Each time I fell, I had to swim back over to the anchor and painstakingly crawl back up. The main cause of my falling was me being too stubborn and not expanding the scaffolding to accommodate my falls, so I would just miss the scaffolding. Here I greatly expand the scaffolding so that I'd stop falling, and I'd recommend anyone that wants to do a big project in the air, like this floating ship, to have ample catch opportunity to save you time from having to go back to the project, walk back to the project. Alright, and here's the final product again. Thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate it.